Thank you for staying with us. Residents of Micoud and environs can now boast a new and improved healthcare facility which promises to offer a range of services on a full-time basis. Officials held a ceremony to mark the opening of the Micoud Wellness Center this week to unveil the new facility and declare it open.
Access to healthcare ranks among the top 3 priority areas on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and the signatory countries like St. Lucia are making strong attempts to meet and surpass the objective. According to local health officials, this is evident in the operational plan for the Micoud Wellness Center, which was officially declared open this week. Speaking at the event, Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Glenford Joseph, pointed to statistics that highlight non-communicable diseases as the leading cause of health-related issues in St. Lucia. He stressed that lifestyle diseases are preventable if people take a personal responsibility for their well-being.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs has made a concerted effort to work with communities to bring about the positive social change required to ultimately improve the quality of life of individuals, the communities, and the society at large. As a result, the team recognized the need to strengthen and streamline services offered in the primary care service to bring about reduction in the incidence, that is the onset of new cases, and the prevalence, the overall number of cases of NCDs we are having.
Meanwhile, parliamentary representative for the area, Jeremiah Norbert, noted that the new facility is the new best thing to St. Jude Hospital when it comes to the delivery of holistic healthcare services in the south of the island.
The plan was to transition the wellness center into a center of excellence. And I am elated today that we can do good on our word, and we are here to actually unveil that plaque. And I don't want to go into too much about the details because I know Dr. Glenford, Dr. Joseph went into details as to what are the services that are going to be offered here. I'm happy to hear that we have internists here. We have so many other services which are going to be provided here. And it means that we no longer have to go to St. Jude's or to Tapillon. And for me, as a constituent, forget the fact that I'm the parliamentary, but as a constituent, it gives me great joy to speak on an occasion like that, where I can come to Micoud and see an internist. I can come to Micoud and get my dental health taken care of. And this is something that the people of Micoud have been waiting for a very long time.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
World Health Organization (WHO) Director General has launched a new report calling on global leaders to take urgent action on non-communicable diseases or NCDs. According to the WHO, NCDs are responsible for 17 million premature deaths annually. The new WHO report on non-communicable diseases is entitled Invisible Numbers: The True Scale of Non-Communicable Diseases, and highlights the extent of the global NCD burden, risk factors, and the progress each country is making in efforts to combat these diseases and conditions. Every 2 seconds, someone under 70 somewhere in the world dies of an NCD. Non-communicable diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and lung disease now outnumber infectious diseases as the top killers globally. Meanwhile, the WHO noted that the public's awareness of the links between NCDs and the risk factors such as tobacco and alcohol consumption, unhealthy diets, and lack of physical activity is low. In other news, local education officials are moving to destigmatize vocational education and training by placing emphasis on the latter. This was demonstrated by a visit to schools in the north of the island by a delegation from the Ministry of Education led by Honorable Sean Edward. We hear more in this report.
Minister with responsibility for education, Honorable Sean Edward, says there must be equal measure of emphasis on technical and vocational subjects in schools, as there is on core academic subjects. The minister says the Education Ministry has looked into many avenues of information to formulate its TVET plan, including the country's needs assessment. Whilst on a visit to schools in the island's north, the minister hinted to an agenda for education that boosts TVET to a point never seen before. He says the country presently is lacking in quite a few areas where TVET is concerned.
Just imagine we have to be importing carpenters and other skilled workers into this country. And I know we have the aptitude. We also have individuals who can impart the knowledge both in a formal and informal setting. And what we want is to ensure that we recruit a cadre of young people in the society who will be trained and who eventually will fill the gaps.
The minister says his visit to schools will continue throughout the school year. He says interfacing with students and faculty provides encouragement and motivation where necessary. In order for the successes in education to be realized, he says there must be a good working relationship with stakeholders. The tour included several schools in District 1, including the St. Lucia Sports Academy and the International School located in Rodney Bay.
You need teachers to be firing on all cylinders, so to speak. You need principals to be in sync with the different policies that have been enunciated by the Ministry of Education. And there's no better way to reinforce those than to have a presence at the schools themselves where you can eyeball teachers, eyeball principals, have an interaction with the students and to remind them of what we require as a ministry. Ours, I've said before, is a very important mandate. We have been tasked with the responsibility of preparing the next generation of citizens who will take their professional places in society to make St. Lucia a better place.
The minister says emphasis will also be placed on early childhood education, special education, and the thrust in the ICT education with the distribution of laptops to students island-wide.
And that is not enough to just give the devices. With Flow, the government of St. Lucia has entered into an arrangement where 5,000 households will receive communication bundles where students who are coming from homes where internet access is not readily available, they will benefit and they will be in a position where they can actually access the internet, do their research, do their homework, and that they will be on the same plane with students who come from families where those services are readily available.
Minister Edwards says it is his intention when the ministry embarks on visits to schools to include the parliamentary representatives for the districts being taught, as well as the important community figures. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology and Vocational Training, I am Chris Satney.
KM2 Solutions has announced plans for further expansion to its Caribbean operations. This, the company says, is as a result of the increased demand for high-quality English language contact center solutions. As such, the company will be increasing its footprint in Barbados, Grenada, and St. Lucia. According to the company, the expansion is being fueled by exciting new client acquisitions and a significant organic growth which is anticipated within its existing client base in its Caribbean operations. Since its inception in St. Lucia in 2004, KM2 Solutions has seen consistent and exponential growth across the Caribbean and Latin America. With an increasing workforce approaching 3,000 people in the Caribbean alone, KM2 anticipates bringing an additional 1,500 new jobs to the region in 2023. Stay with us. We have more news coming up after this.